Many years ago, my brother and I had went swimming at a family friend's pool. I was so excited to go swimming, even though I didn't know how. This pool was amazing. It had, tons of basketball hoops, water beds, cool floats, and the big surprise to me, a diving board. This really piqued my interest. I was overwhelmed to get in and try everything. However, my mom had warned me, and she definitely saw other things. She said, do not go in the deep end. And well, I was about 7 years old at this time, and I had a little Dennis the Menace running through my blood. I was determined to go in the deep end. And then at the moment, my mom had left for a quick moment, I believe to get something from the kitchen to bring back out. And that was my moment of truth. I quickly jumped out of the shallow end, ran over to the diving board, and got on top of it. And my brother, he immediately stopped me and said, look, I cannot save you if you go out there, so do not do it. And with no hesitation or any reserve, I didn't listen at all. I dove right into the water. Right away, I knew something was wrong. I knew I was in trouble, literally and figuratively. I didn't know how to manage being so deep underwater. I began to panic. I was flailing my arms and legs as I continued to slowly drift lower and lower into the water as I was exclaiming, trying to get back to the top. Out of nowhere, a hand from above grabbed me and pulled me out. And the first thing I heard at that moment was, do not go in the deep end without proper training. You can drown. And folks, that was all I needed to not do that again. Even though it's a measure of faith to go deeper, we must only go once God has called us there. Ask yourself, has God been calling me to this? Have you been running from what God wants you to do? Be strong and courageous, and do not be afraid or terrified because of them. For the Lord your God goes with you, and he will never leave you nor forsake you. And that's his promise in Deuteronomy 31 verse 6. This verse gives us confidence that if God is before us and he calls us to it, he will bring us through it. Many people in the Bible were afraid to jump in once they were called. For example, Gideon. He felt like he was the least of his clan and the weakest of his family. But God said, I am with you, when he had to lead the army of 300. Even Moses, being afraid and feeling incapable of leading God's people out of bondage. And God said to him, go, I'll help you to speak and teach you what to say. With all this, I've come to the conclusion that when God calls me to go deeper, I'm going to go all the way in. Not just ankle deep, not just knee deep, and not just way deep. I'm submerging myself all the way in. What no eye has seen, or what no ear has heard, or what no human mind has conceived, the things God has prepared for those who love him. So let's launch out into the deep end. Let's launch onto the deep waters and experience what God has in store for us. Be blessed. Deep waters.